to change the color of something in this image, and I thought it'd be a good time to do a quick tutorial on a tool that I use all the time. It's the Replace Color tool, and he wanted me to change the color of this kid's shirt. This is my son. He wants me to change the color of his shirt to brown. That's rather intricate because there's a bunch of different colors going on, so I'm going to start with something simpler just to show you how the tool works. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer. So Command J or Control J on a PC, and then I have a shortcut that is Command H, but you can go to Image, Adjustments, Replace Color to find the tool. And we can start with something a little more noticeable just so you can see what the tool does. I'm going to use this eyedropper to click on the couch to say I want to replace the color of the couch with a different color. And you see when I click on it, the couch turns white over here in this box. This is going to tell you everything that's going to be adjusted, anything that's going to be affected by your change. And you can adjust what's called the fuzziness. So you can select more of the image or less. I'm going to try to select just the couch as much as possible. And then I'm going to come down here to hue, and there it goes. And you can see I am adjusting other things in the image, but that's going to be an easy thing to fix because I created that new layer. So let's say I want to make the couch purple, just for kicks. And I'm going to turn saturation down just a little bit to make it slightly more believable. Click OK. Now over here I've affected all these other things in the image that I don't want to affect. So I'm going to hold down my Option key or Alt key on a PC. I'm going to click this little box down here in the Layers palette. It's the box with the white circle. Click that. It's going to create a blank layer mask. It's going to fill it with black so that whatever I paint with my paintbrush on white is going to show the changes that I made on the new layer. So I'm just going to paint white, and there's my purple couch. And because of the Replace Color tool, it only adjusted things that were the same color as the couch. So I don't have to be so careful about what I'm selecting. Around his feet, there's some red there that is the same color as the couch, so I'm going to have to be careful about that when I'm coloring. But the wall is not red, his clothes are not red, the pillows are not red, so they're not going to be affected. So I can come in pretty loosely, except for around his skin, and get a pretty good cut. This isn't perfect, but it just kind of shows you what the tool does. And there you go. And then you can bounce back and forth, red to purple. But as far as his shirt goes, so I have my new layer, Command J or Control J. And I bring up the Replace Color tool, and I'm going to select a color of his shirt. We'll start with green. Turn it up because I don't want to affect anything but his shirt, and you can see it's just his shirt being affected here. Adjust my hue and adjust the saturation, and it makes it sort of a brown color. This is going to take about 4 different steps because there's so many different layers, and I really don't see, when I click this light blue, you can see a lot of the wall is selected, his skin is selected, so I'm going to turn that way down. So I'm only adjusting, this will adjust his eyes as well, as you can see, but it'll just adjust part of his shirt. And that's going to turn it a pinky color. I don't want that. So let's turn my saturation down a little bit. And now we need the lighter green and the darker blue. So I'm going to use my eyedropper tool to select that darker blue. And you can see I am affecting the skin a little bit, but as I showed you before, we're going to be able to adjust that later. And I think we're pretty much good. There might be a little bit of green that I still need to adjust, but overall, I don't think I did this box at all. Yeah, no, I think we are good to roll. This has a lot of gray in it, and that's okay by me. So it just has these brown and gray tones in it now. But you can see the skin is all muddy, it's got weird edges. So I'm going to hold down Alt and select to make that layer mask. Use my paintbrush tool and come in and just paint that shirt back to brown. I don't have to worry about the couch because it's not blue or green. The pants are not blue and green. I remember seeing that I affected the skin a little bit, so I'm going to be a little careful around the skin. And you can zoom in real close. The trick with Photoshop, always, you'll hear me say this a million times, subtlety, subtlety, subtlety. Make sure that you try to keep your changes as smooth and as easy as possible. If you try to change a pink shirt to blue, it's going to be a lot more noticeable and harder to cut in around the skin because the skin has a lot of pink tones in it. So try to shoot your photos, of course, in a way that don't require adjustments. But in this case, my husband's grandfather always wore a brown shirt with his hats, and this is my husband's grandfather's hat that my son's wearing, so he really wanted that, 2 months after we shot the photo. So as you can see, we've changed the shirt from this bright blue and green to this more neutral browns and grays tone. And that is the Replace Color tool.